It didn't even work on my mother. I brought a Japanese kid home one day. My mother said, I don't want that kind around. So I used reason, this years ago, and logic. Didn't work at all. So I said, if you can't change your mother, how the hell are you going to change the world? So I said, this is a lie now. I said, I was swimming in the East River, and there's a high wall, and I couldn't get ashore. And Masato, the Japanese kid, threw a lifesaver to me. My mother said, oh my God, you mean he saved your life? I said, yes. I was so rude to him, she said. I said, yes, you were. Please, Jacque, ask him to come here. I want to beg forgiveness. I said, I don't know if he'll come back now. That's to get her to plead with me. She says, I feel so terrible. Please, Jacque. Well, I called him, and I told him the whole story. So he knows. I said, the minute you walk in the door, I was going to hug you, God bless you, all the usual crap, you know. And at dinner, she was talking to him, really talking. So I walked out. I came back, and my son went to the washroom. I said to my mother, what do you think? She said, you know, he's just like you and I. He's a nice boy, has a nice family. I said, but he's a member of the yellow race. It's his face. She said, it's got nothing to do with it. He's a nice boy. I said, look, he's a Japanese, slanty-eyed. You can't trust him. She said, well, he's very nice. You're wrong. Now she's arguing with me. I'm giving her all the examples she gave me. Then, a month later, she really likes him. He's a nice kid. So she always puts her arm around Masato and calls him son and me. Once that was established, I said, Mother, he never saved my life. She said, you little devil, I would have never opened the door. You understand? But always tell the truth later if they can't understand it now. People are so involved in their own little values which they get from where they're brought up. The goddamn Filipinos, the goddamn Jews, the goddamn Swedes, get a dumb Irishman to clean out your cellar. You know, if you were brought up in Ireland, you say, he's a fine Irish lad. You'd speak like that. And if you're brought up in New Zealand, you'd say, how are you, mate? See, that's normal to that area. One more thing I want to say. In ancient Rome, they used to believe in many different gods. And when the Christians came to town, they believed in one God. They were disruptive to Rome. So they used to feed Christians to lions. You know that? Okay. They'd take their clothes off and they'd starve the lions for a week to get a better show. The whole family would come, kids and all. They said, Daddy, can we come next week to see Christians fed the lions? And he'd say, if you behave yourself. Now, is he dumb, insane? No. That's normal to that culture. What's normal to this culture is men fighting each other, punching each other in the head. That damages the brain. But we all go to prize fighting because it's a normal thing for this culture. In the future, this culture won't make the history books. It's so sick. But maybe there's certain things you can't say. A lot of sports are not good for people. They break their wrists, they injure their knees, and they don't shake hands and say it was a great game. They feel resentful, they argue, they beat each other up in the stadium. It's not good for people.
It really primes people for war, too, us against them. You know, my country, my team against them.
So we got an educational job. The movie deals with that. If you have the time, I can tell you what the movie is about. Yeah. You want to know?
Yes.
Okay. It takes us on a trip 50 years into the future all around the world. Garden cities, flowers, canals, irrigation, the rebuilding of the world for all people. Art centers, music centers, shows all that. It shows children different than the children today. Instead of, I want a balloon, I want this. The kids know geology. They're trained when they're very young. Kids want to know how airplanes fly. They want to know what makes war, Daddy. Why do people kill each other? Why do murderers murder people? They want to know, but we don't give them any of them. We stay at the store to bring us a baby. We don't, kids are ready for real information. So the kids of the future talk differently than they do. My kids talk of geology, continental drift. They talk of atmospheric conditions, hurricanes. They never talk like babies, because I brought them up differently. Now, what happens is if you don't bring up kids sanely, you're going to have trouble.
what you are talking is exactly the question that we for Portuguese want to understand, is that transition and how we help. Well, I want to ask one question. You told us we could help doing media. We write articles, we publish your content, we translate your content to Portuguese, that is a language spoken all over the world, so we help in that way. Can we go, or must we go further, like doing research of our own and projects related to your ideas that we know by...
I just want you to understand, movie can get to millions of people. My lectures, no. I go all over the world, it's only 500, 300 people. That movie can get to millions of people in 1 month. And the movie shows, so they don't project. A lot of people think they project their own values into the Venus Project. They picture a bunch of scientists in gray. You will work in Area D. You, Area K. It's nothing like that. That's Hollywood. They show robots choking the designers, blowing up spaceships. That is not the Venus Project. But the book, 1984, Brave New World, Atlas Shrugged, is anti-science, written by artists. And it's nothing like that.
The Greek movement is doing a nonprofit also, and they're trying to get together with all the other European zeitgeist movements to work together on different projects. You might want to get in touch with them too,
yes.
Get you their information. And also on the zeitgeist movement, we just saw Gilbert, and he mentioned something about maybe having the Greek movement get in touch with them because they have some criteria for nonprofits. I don't know what it is yet, and so I can't really say what it's about, but I think they have some criteria for the zeitgeist nonprofits. I can't say if we go along with them. I haven't seen them.
No, of course. We want to understand, as we have a legal entity, as its defense and its only existence is to do scientific work and investigation. That is the first question. Should we do it? Should we do investigation for a nucleus?
I think a legal entity will help you, and it'll help bring on other people who are in the scientific world.
Exactly.
That's the way the Greek movement feels as well. And you can do projects more, so you can get, from the European Union, you can get funding if you have a non-profit, which would be helpful.
Exactly.
And if you join with the others, it might be even more useful to get more funds and do larger projects.
Yeah. Exactly, because there is a concept that is the recognition by the state that will have a benefit on taxes, and that is one of the ways we want to go. So, do media. I want to synthesize, not to take you much work, but on the main question is, do media, we do media, and do the content. Do research, we do research. We even try and are doing a project of switching hours of labor between the members of the non-profit organization, as it is, I think, the most better way to do a collapse in the monetary system, because we don't use money. So we exchange the service between us, and that is the questions I want to say. What should we do, if more or less, between the non-profit organization and the zeitgeist movement? We are talking about that contribution of both.
Collaboration.
Yes, collaboration. But we want to really know is, the Venus Project think it's okay if I go with a megaphone in front of the Bank of Portugal? You understand? Is that kind of question. And until where can I go? And that I'm doing the idea, and I'm not using an institution that is corrupted.
You have to convince the wealthy people that they will not suffer. We don't want to take their property away. What happened in America during the Depression, the big plants had no orders and they failed, and they were never bailed out. And what happened when I was a kid? A man owned an aircraft factory, and he was a friend of mine, and the government came in and said, we're taking over your factory. He said, why? You haven't paid taxes for 3 years on any of your machinery. He said, I have no orders for airplanes. Take the goddamn factory. When you don't sell automobiles, General Motors and Toyota's winning, you can't sell your factory. You understand what I mean? If you have an obsolete factory, you can't sell anything. If you make computer chips, and he designs a chip 10 times faster than yours, you can't even sell your production equipment. You understand? So what happens to the capitalist, the guy with a lot of money in a cigar, he can't operate.